we're playing the Standard Izzet Lessons deck that won the last Worlds that just happened this past weekend with Seth Manfield. And it's a bit of a doozy because it's one that's been causing a lot of prices to rise. And it's one that is not possible at all without Avatar. Quite literally a deck made by the Avatar set, increasing the prices of Monument, Artist Talent, and all that stuff. This deck is insane, and we're going to be able to showcase a mirror match today and how intricate it really can be, the type of decisions you're making, how minute decisions can lead to wins and losses, and how certain permanents really do take you over the edge. So how this deck works is that you are using cards like Gran-Gran to reduce the cost of your lessons. You're thinking Combustion Techniques and Accumulate Wisdom. Accumulate Wisdom now with Gran-Gran or the second activated ability of Artist Talent can turn into Ancestral. It's 1 mana. You just draw the top 3 cards of your deck. Now, technically, it's not drawing. So if there are effects that care about you drawing down the line in later standards or whatever, this doesn't really draw. It just puts them in your hand, which is kind of interesting. Past that, what you're going to be doing is setting up conditions with Artist Talent, and then the rare case with something like Gran-Gran, where you are discarding cards, and then Monument of Endurance is going to provide you that value to ultimately finish the game. Whenever you discard a card, choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn, and that means you can trigger it on your turn and on your opponent's turn. Each opponent losing 3 life is where you're at. And once you start having multiple, noting that Monument of Endurance, its cost is reduced not only by the Artist Talent, but also by the Gran-Gran. So there are rare situations where you're playing 1 mana Monument of Endurances, and Endurance is an insane artifact. Past that, the rest of the sideboard is a bunch of interaction that you're trying to bring in to help stop a lot of the Izzet decks, but Izzet Lessons is an absolutely insane engine style deck. I think a lot of commander players would feel right at home because you're trying to set up a bunch of pieces to ultimately come together and create a crap ton of value, which is kind of what you're doing in a lot of bracket 3 commander anyway. But it's one that is relatively actually wildcard heavy, but cannot be at the same time. Like, again, there are a lot of common and uncommon lessons that take up the deck. Past a budget mana base, which you generally can throw together, your wildcards are an Artist Talent, Stormchasers, and even like the Monuments. Like, again, like it's mostly like 3 cards in the main board. The rest of it pretty budget in terms of wildcards, and some of the other stuff you can get away with, you might even already have from past standards or whatever, but a mana base you can really build into over time. Let me know what you think about Izzet Lessons in the comment section down below. And do you really feel like this is a high tier caliber standard deck that deserved to win Worlds? Opponent goes first. We have Gran-Gran, Monument, Artist Talent. Like, there's a lot of things to like about this hand that is pretty much marquee, you know, Izzet Lessons type of stuff right here. So I'm pretty sure we're just supposed to start off on Gran. If they wipe it here, you just play Artist Talent and kind of move on with your life type of thing. So yeah, it looks like we're in the Lessons mirror. Just fine. There's like 3 different Izzet decks floating around, truthfully. So let's see if we get quenched here. Nope, we do not. All right, so that resolves. I would like me a land. That would be fantastic. Okay, Monument comes down, which isn't great, but that means we get our Monument down as well, which means I get to draw Combustion Technique, draw a card, which is great. So I find me another land. Unfortunately, that doesn't trigger off the Endurance, but that's okay. So they don't have any discard engines just yet. They could play Artist Talent into something. Okay, yeah, Abandon thing is a good way to start. So they draw 2 cards. They're going to be drawing 3 cards. They've drawn 4 cards this turn. So let's see what we got here. Monument hopefully doesn't draw them into an Artist Talent. That's where things start going real sideways for us. They have something to, okay, they're going to Boomerang Basics that, and that's fine. So I'm going to play this again. You don't have Quench. I'm going to decline this, actually. Then I'm going to Multiversal Passage this for blue, pay 2 life, and then I'll actually then hit yours. And then what that'll allow me to do is drop the lesson, discard, draw. I will draw a card, and then we'll kind of pass it from there. That's perfect. So I'm able to start to get my chain going, set them back on some mana. We find ourselves another Multiversal Passage, which is great just to be able to get out another Monument of Endurance, discard some lands, take it from there. Okay. So straight up draw 3. I mean, you know, them getting all those lessons in is a little unfortunate. A Firebending Lesson is very welcome here, and we will definitely be removing that. So Firstly, let's get off our Monument of Endurance. I'm gonna drop the Spirebluff Canal. And first thing we're gonna do is probably just draw a card if I'm gonna be honest. Let's try and find what we need here. We're then gonna go Firebending Lesson, deal 2 damage to that. We will discard the Iroh's demonstration, I believe. And then go create a treasure, because I'm gonna go land, make red, doesn't really matter. And then I will actually just play out the Monument of Endurance and just kind of continue my value from there. I'll drop the Spirebluff Canal and we are going to be doing things here. We are the ones setting ourselves up much better, or well, we've gotten to set ourselves up. So 3 Monument of Endurance. Whew, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So Gran-Gran, another one gets played. It all depends on what's in their hand. So multiple monuments are fine. It's just that the difference maker is this artist talent. The difference maker is the fact that we have artist talent. And yeah, they're going to have that, but we're going to be able to start wiping this board clean. Hopefully here. So we're going to be able to go first. We're going to do this. We're going to do 4 damage to target creature. Right? They have Quench potentially, but Quench is pay 2, and I'm perfectly fine with that. We'll drop the artist talent. All right, we'll go draw a card. Yeah, and opponent just concedes. Like we're just able to slow them down to a level that they're not even ready for. So I think into this, I'm actually really interested. Like, how would we really board for this? Like, is it going to be the Pyroclasm? Like, I think you're supposed to drop the demonstration, play Pyroclasm, then play Spell Pierce, and maybe even just Soul Guide Lanterns to really slow them down. Or do I really care that much? Like, I'm on the draw. The Spell Pierce is like a lot better. Maybe we play the Annul. What happens once it's resolved? Like, do you drop Gran-Gran? Like, are you supposed to drop Gran-Gran because you're just a lot slower? You play the Abandon, you play Quench, and I think you're supposed to play... I'll play 1 Gran-Gran. This allows you to get things back. I think I could be completely wrong. That's the thing, right? Like, we're just going into this and seeing if it works. We just managed to get more monuments out. That's really what it comes down to. And I think the counter magic is going to be important. So that's why I was like, is the negates, like, the negates are going to be good. Multiversal Passage and Firebending Lessons could be bad. Opponent kept a 7. Could be bad. Could be bad. We're able to deal with a lot of early stuff like multiple Gran-Grans and stuff. Artist talent, maybe. I think we mulligan this hand. Okay, all right. I think we just hope for this one. We can add red with the Riverpyre, so we can still stop the turn 1 Gran-Gran, should they have it. We will start off on the Stormchaser talent, force them to use the removal here. Like, yes, that's a lesson in the graveyard, but one less thing to trigger off a future artist talent or whatever. Let's see. Land and go. Looks like I'm gonna just hit them with the accumulate knowledge. Just a little impulse. Impulse is 4 though. Boomerang Basics seems like that's what I want to be doing here. Abandon attachments. Yup. More lessons in the trash. That's 3 lessons. Turns out it's pretty easy for accumulate knowledge just to be a bunch of mana. Let's go Boomerang Basics, our own thing. Draw a card. Then we can go Probably Artist Talent, if I'm going to be honest, and then pass the turn. Or not Artist Talent, like yeah, Stormchaser's Talent, and then next turn we can go Artist Talent into more stuff if we want. Okay, Combustion Technique is, or no, Firebender thing is fine. Big thing is they did stumble on mana there, but it looks like they found it somewhere in their top 2. Yeah, Soul Guide Lantern was kind of what I was afraid of, but let's see. Lantern is what I was afraid of here. But that's okay. We can keep continuing down this train here. Play the Artist Talent, playing around the Spell Pierce. And then we will pass the turn from there. The minute they play a threat, we're in a good spot. I mean, it gets Spell Pierce probably, but still. Yeah, the Monument coming down is real scary, I will say. So at this point, it's just both of us kind of waiting to react. So do we even want to... Let's see here. You could just start thing pretty reasonably here. We'll go red with this, and then what we could do is actually just level this up, right? Everything costing 1 less. The Combustion Technique now is a little bit better too. But if we're both kind of sitting there with just removal in our hand, oh yikes. Yeah, this is where things get a little bit more problematic for us. I think on the play, I probably am just supposed to bring back in. Yeah, you know what? This board's a little insane. This board is a little diabolical. So I think I don't play those. I drop the Pyroclasm here. I bring the Gran-Grans back on the play, and then I think Annul is fine, and then the Soul Guides make sense. If they bring in Soul Guides, those get worse. You could play hard Negate, or you could just play Abrade, which also is probably really fair. So let's play the Abrade just for the monuments, and I think that makes sense. I think here we're gonna play first. Gran-Gran is pretty damn good. I think we just do this and pass. I don't think we need to power out Gran-Gran just yet. Stormchaser's Talent is fine. I think we go Artist Talent just to establish it. And we can really start, you know, kind of discarding. Wonder how aggressive they might get. Yeah, they got their own. They got their own. Okay, okay. Okay. Riverpyre is kind of lit, but kind of not. Let's go Gran-Gran. Stormchaser's Talent. Discard, draw. Right, and then let's go Firebending Lesson this. We'll decline. We'll keep both in our hand. So at this point, you know, that Gran-Gran is going to be a pretty big target with this Multiversal Passage. You know, just the red base removal. Yep, I see the targeting happening. But we have something surviving on our side, which is important here. They're just going to pass. Okay, interesting. I think at this point, I'll play the Abandoned Attachments. They have like a Quench. Do you have Le Quench? I will decline this and let the Abandoned Attachments hopefully resolve. Okay, I'll kind of try and draw 2 cards from there. I'll go to combat. I will attack. Trying to find some lands, but let's see. I will play the Gran-Gran to draw out more removal on their turn while they don't have the endurance. Yep. Combustion Technique is fine. Yeah, they're not discarding anything in their hand. They like everything. They don't draw land and just cast Monument. We're in a, I would say we're in a relatively good spot. I can just Boomerang that back. Okay, we will hit this. I will drop the Combustion Technique, draw card. I'm trying to find something here. Like, oh my god. Let's just bounce that back to your hand. And yeah, discard this for now. That way we have a bunch of lessons in trash already. We'll just go to combat. So if they're being tempoed out just by spending a bunch of mana just to play a monument. Oh no. Okay, so that means they got removal potentially up as well alongside a monument coming down. That is not great. Let's do Gran-Gran. Let's do the Accumulate Wisdom. Right, nothing to discard. Play Riverpyre Monument of Endurance. I will actually decline that because I want discard fodder. And then we'll attack in for 3. So we're at 18 life. Like, we have similar packages kind of set up. So it really depends on what they have. They can create a big turn here, but it's not like they can deal 3 damage like multiple times to me. It's really just going to be 1. So yeah, they have the Abrade. Yeah, they have the Abrade, but what else are we looking to get here? Okay, abandon attachments, get some discards going. They can get all 3 modes, but to be fair, these otters are going to be potentially lethal because I can Stormchaser's Talent, return a 1-drop or, you know, a 2-drop turning into 1 into Accumulate, and then all of a sudden I have a bunch of triggers going off just to enable my otters to lethal. I don't think they don't see that. Like, I need to have a land. They need, like, I don't think they see that line. So it really depends. Can they Boomerang Basics one of my cards here? Because then they're kind of in an okay spot. But they need to be able to Boomerang Basics here. Yes. What are you Boomerang Basicing? Oh no. Is it your own thing? And then you're just going to play it again? You made a treasure, so that's fair. I'm not accounting for like the extra mana off the treasure. But yeah, you have to be able to remove something. Yeah, you have to be able to remove something. That's important. Yep. Braid is so big here. It's so big. Oh my god. Let's do... Hold on. We can do this a slightly more optimal way. We can do this. And then Abrade. Destroy target artifact. Yeah, absolutely insane draw here. Kind of discard draw. That's fine. We will play that, and then I will go into attack for 4. Yeah, that's not great. Like, especially, you know, them just being at 3 life. Like, yeah, it's not like I have burn spells or whatever. They don't want to lose anything in hand either. You have like double removal spell or something. I mean, yo, I'm gonna start off. Let's start off on this. I'm gonna start off on this. That's 4 damage. Boomerang Basics not gonna work here. You gotta have like probably you gotta have like 2 removal spells almost. Torch Tower on 1. Yep. You gonna discard something looking for another piece of removal? You kind of have to. Yeah, I kept the Annul. Okay, we're boarding out the same way. I love it. We're boarding out the same way. Quench You. Okay. Yeah, they're looking. I will auto pay. Yeah, let's trade out. Sure. I think it's better for creatures not to be on the battlefield in this case. Okay. Because if they top deck a removal, then they cannot use it. Okay, so you're emptied. You're gonna do that. I'm gonna give myself back something here. Probably give myself back the Boomerang Basics if I'm gonna be honest. Boomerang Basics. The Probably the one that I can do that with. Discard and draw. I want to draw 2 cards here. Perfect. Let's go blue, pay 2, and then play that. Right now you're on top decks. I mean, kind of top decks. Not really top decks, but kind of. Because you can, again, still Stormchaser's talent, and that still means something. So the endurance can definitely get there. The thing is like, if I find endurance, pretty much that's the dub there. I find endurance, that's the dub. Yeah, you're going to Boomerang Basics your own thing here. Just to reset. You're going to discard draw. Probably draw a card. Yeah, they're going to... Depends on, like, create a treasure token. Okay, I guess it depends on, like, what you found. Because you can still go about the other modes pretty easily. So I guess that makes sense. The most amount of value. They're at notably 32 cards. I'm at 33. We're close on the amount of decking that we're doing, but both decks are drawing a lot of cards. This best of 3. We are close. We are close. Okay. In that case, I mean, no, you don't do that. You go Boomerang Basics. On your own Stormchaser. Just a prowess. Discard draw. Soul Guide's pretty decent, I would say. It's okay. Spell Pierce is interesting. I think, yeah, okay, so we play this again. You drop the Soul Guide Lantern. Don't piss me off right now. I think what you're supposed to do is do this. Find the Firebending Lesson. And then Firebending Lesson away this. Hoping to, yeah, this is what I was hoping to Spell Pierce, but like, oh well. That's what I was hoping to Spell Pierce. They got the damage, so I'll drop the Spell Pierce and draw. I'll deal 2 to that. And then we pass. There probably was a better way to do this, but okay, another monument is not great. I can't find my monuments. One monument really would have done it for me here, but okay, accumulate wisdom is not great. So we already got spells being reduced thanks to the artist talent. The thing I have to be careful with is technically, like, okay, so they have 6 damage and 6 damage. I'm at 1 essentially. If they can go instant speed and deal some damage off like otters and stuff, that's really important. But I feel like I threw this right here at the end. I feel like maybe there was like a situation here where I could have played this a little bit better earlier on, but now they're Boomerang Basicing and they are able to regrow. Yeah, I mean, this is just a difference of finding your endurances. So GG's, I'll concede it there. It's a close one. It's a close one.